Today we're going to read the book of Sirach. Escalicitus, I guess, in parentheses. The book of Sirach derives its name from the author, Jesus, son of A.N.T.I, son of Sirach. Its earliest title seems to have been Wisdom of the Sun, Sirach, designation Liber Escascites, meaning Church of Book. Appended to some Greek and Latin manuscripts was due to the extensive use which the church made of this book in presenting moral teaching to catch humans, catching humans into the faithful. The author, a sage who have lived in Jerusalem, was throughout imbued with love for the law, the priesthood, the temple, and the divine worship. As a wise and ex-motive of helping them to maintain religious faith and integrity through the study of the holy books and through the tradition, the book contains numerous maxims formulated with care, grouped by affinity, and dealing with a variety of subjects such as individual, the family, and the community, and their relations with one another and with God. It treats of friendship, education, poverty, and wealth, the law, religious to worship, and many other matters which reflect the religious and social customs of the time. Written in Hebrew between 200 and 175 BC, the text was translated to Greek sometime after 132 BC by the author's grandsons, who also wrote a foreword which contains information about the book. The author and the translator himself, which until the close of the 19th century, such as Sirach, was known only into the translations of this Greek rendering, was the most important from the Latin versions, was made between 1896 and 1900, and again in 1931, and several times since 1956. Manuscripts were discovered containing in all about 2/3 of the Hebrew text, which agrees substantially with the Greek one. One such text from Mazda is pre-Christian in date, do not included in the Hebrew Bible after the 1st century AD, nor accepted by persecution Protestants. The Book of Sirach has always been recognized by the Catholic Church as divinely inspired and canonical. The fourth, do not inspired, has placed the Bible because of its antiquity and importance. The concepts of Sirach are only discursive nature, not easily divided into separate parts. Chapters 1 through 43 deal largely with moral instructions. Chapters 4, 1 through 50 contains a eulogy of heroes of Israel. In some of the patriarchs, there are 2 appendices in which the author expresses his gratitude to God and appeals to the unlearned to acquire true wisdom. The church used the book of Sirach extensively in her liturgy. The foreword. Many important truths have been handed down to us through the law, the prophets, and the later authors, and for all the instructions and wisdom of Israel merit praise. Now those who are familiar with these truths must not only understand themselves, but as lovers of wisdom be able in speech and in writing to help others less familiar, such as one was my grandfather, Jesus, who have devoted himself for a long time to the diligent study of the law, the prophets, and the rest of the books of our ancestors, and having developed a thorough familiarity with them, was moved to write something himself in the nature of instructions in wisdom, in order that those who love wisdom might be acquainting themselves what he told had written, make even greater progress in living in conformity with the divine law. You, therefore, are now invited to read it in a spirit of attentive goodwill with indulgence. For any apparent failure on our part, despite earnest efforts in the interpretation of practical passages, for words spoken originally in Hebrew are not as effective when they are translated into another language. This is true not only of this book, but of the law itself. The prophets and the rest of the books, which differ no little when they are read in the original, arrived in Egypt in 38th year of the reign of King Euergetes. And while there I found a reproduction of valuable teachings. I therefore consider myself in duty bound to devote some diligence and duty to translation of the books. Many sleepless hours of close application I have devoted into to finishing the book for publication for the benefit of those living abroad who wish to acquire wisdom and disposed to live their lives according to the standards of the law. So that is the intro to Sirach. Now we're about to get into chapter 1, which is called The Wisdom of Sirach. Chapter 1, Praise of Wisdom. All wisdom comes from the Lord, and with him it remains forever. The sands of the seashores, the drops of the rain, the days of eternity, who can remember these? Heaven's height, earth breadth, the depths of the abyss, who can explore these? For all these things else wisdom was created, and prudent understanding from eternity, to whom has wisdom ruled and revealed, who knows her sublidities. There is but one, wise and truly awe-inspiring, seated upon his throne. It is the Lord. He created her. He has seen her and taken note of her. He has poured her forth upon all his works, upon every living thing according to his bounty. He has lavished her upon his friends. Fear of the Lord is glory and splendor, gladness and festive crown. Fear of the Lord warms the heart, giving gladness and joy and length of days. He who fears the Lord will have happy end. Even on the day of his death he will be blessed. The beginning of wisdom is fear of the Lord, which is formed with the faithful in the womb. With the devoted man which he created of old, and with the children he beneficies abides. Fullness of wisdom is fear of the Lord. She inebriates men with her fruits. Her entire house she fills with choice foods, her granaries with her harvest. Wisdom garland is fear of the Lord, with blossoms of peace and perfect health. Knowledge and full understanding she showers down Knowledge and full understanding she showers down. She hidens the glory of those who possesses her. The root of wisdom is fear of the Lord. Her branches are length of days. One cannot justify anger. Anger plunges a man to his downfall. A patient man needeth stand firm for a time, and then contentment comes back to him. For while he holds back his words, then the lips of many herald his wisdom. Among wisdom treasures is the paragon of prudence, but fear of the Lord is an abomination to the sinner. If you desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord will bestow her upon you. For fear of the Lord is wisdom and culture. Lord, humility is his delight. Be not faithless to the fear of the Lord, nor approach it with duplicity of heart. Play not the hypocrite before man over your lips. Keep watch. Exalt not yourself lest you fall, and bring upon your dishonor, for the Lord will reveal your secrets, and publicly cast you down, for you approach the fear of the Lord with your heart full of guile. Chapter 2. Duties towards God. My son, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for trials. Be sincere of heart and steadfast, undisturbed in time of adversity. Cling to him, forsake him not. Thus will your future be great. Accept whatever befalls you in crushing misfortune. Be patient, for in fire gold is tested, and worthy men in the crucible of humiliation. Trust God, and he will help you. Make straight your ways and hope in him. You who fear the Lord, wait for his mercy. Turn not away lest you fall. You who fear the Lord, trust him, and your reward will not be lost. You who fear the Lord, hope for good things, for lasting joy and mercy. Study the generations long past and understand. Has anyone hoped in the Lord and been disappointed? Has anyone persevered in his fear and been forsaken? Has anyone called upon him and been rebuffed? Compassionate and merciful is the Lord. He forgives sins, he saves in time of trouble. Woe to craven hearts and drooping hands, to the sinner who treads the double path. Woe to the faint of heart who trust not, who therefore will have no shelter. Woe to you who have lost hope. What will you do at the visitation of the Lord? Those who fear the Lord disobey not his words. Those who love him keep his ways. Those who fear the Lord seek to please him. Those who love him are filled with his law. Those who fear the Lord prepare their hearts and humble themselves before him. Let us fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men, for equal of his mercy and the mercy that he shows. Duties towards parents. Children, pay heed to the father right. Do so that you may live, for the Lord sets a father in honor over his children. A mother's authority he confirms over her sons. He who honors his father atones for his sins. He who stores up riches reverses his mother. He who honors his father is gladdened by children, and he who will praise he is heard. He who reveres his father will live a long life. He who obeys the Lord will bring comfort to his mother. He who fears the Lord honors his father, and serves his parents as rulers, In the world indeed honor your father, that his blessing may come upon you. For a father's blessing gives a family firm roots, but mother's curse uproots the growing plant. Glory not in your father's shame, for his shame is no glory to you. His father's honor is man's glory, disgrace for her children a mother's shame. My son, take care of your father when he is old. Grieve him not as long as he lives, even if his mind fail, be considerate with him. Revile him not in the fullness of your strength, for kindness to a father will not be forgotten. It will serve as a sin offering, it will take lasting root. In time of tribulation, it will be called to your advantage. Like warmth upon frost, it will melt away your sins. A blasphemer who has despised his father, accused of his creator, he who angers his mother. Humility. My son, collect your affairs with humility, and you will be loved more than a giver of gifts. Humble yourself, the greater you are, and you will find favor with God, for great is the power of God. By the humble he is glorified. What is too sublime for you to seek not, into the things beyond your strength search not. What is committed to you, attend to, for what is hidden is not your concern. With what is too much for you, meddle not. Let me say that again. What is too much for you, meddle not, when shown things beyond human understanding. Their own opinion has misled many, and false reasoning unbalanced their judgment. Where the pupil of the eyes is missing, there is no light, and where there is no knowledge, there is no wisdom. A stubborn man will fare badly unto the end, and he who loves danger will perish in it. A stubborn man will be burdened with sorrow. A sinner will heap sin upon sin, for the affliction of the proud man there is no cure. He is the offshoot of an evil plant. The mind of a sage appreciates proverbs, and attentive ears the wise man's joy. Alms for the poor. Water quenches a flaming fire, and alms atones for sins. He who does a kindness is remembered afterward. He who falls, he finds a support. Chapter 4. My son, rob not the poor man of his livelihood. Force not the eyes of the needy to turn away. A hungry man grieve not. A needy man anger not. Do not exaggerate the downtrodden, delay not to give the needy. A beggar in distress do not reject. Avert not your face from the poor. From the needy turn not your eyes. Give no man reason to curse you. For if the bitterness of his soul he curses you, your Creator will hear his prayer. Endure yourselves to assembly before a ruler bow your head. Give a hearing to the poor man, and return his greetings with courtesy. Deliver the oppressed from the hand of oppressor. Let not justice be repugnant to you. To the fatherless be a father, and help the mother as a husband would. Thus will you be like a son of the Most High, and he will be tender to you than a mother. The rewards of wisdom. Wisdom instructs her children and admonishes those who seek her. He who loves her loves life. Those who seek her outwin favor. He who holds her fast in her is glory. Whenever he dwells, the Lord bestows blessing. Those who serve her serve the Holy One. Those who love her, the Lord loves. He who obeys her judges nations. He who hearkens to dwells in the innermost chambers. If one trusts her, he will possess her. His descendants too will inherit her. She walks with him as a stranger, and at first she puts him to the test. Fear and dread she brings upon him, and tries with her discipline. With her precepts she puts him to proof, until his heart is fully with her. Then she comes back to bring him the happiness and reveal her secrets to him. But if he fails her, she will abandon him and deliver him into the hands of despoilers. Sincerity and justice. Use your time well, guard yourself from evil, and bring upon yourself no shame. There is a sense of shame laden with guilt, and a shame that merits honor and respect. Show no favoritism to your own discredit. Let no one intimidate you to your own downfall. Refrain not from speaking at the proper time, and hide not away your wisdom. For it is through speech that wisdom becomes known, and knowledge through the tongue rejoined. Never gainsay the truth, and struggle not against the rushing stream. Be not ashamed to acknowledge your guilt, but of your ignorance rather be ashamed. Do not abase yourself before imperious men, nor refuse to do so before rulers. Even to the death fight for truth, and the Lord your God will battle for you. Be not surly into your speech, nor lazy and slack in your deeds. Be not a lion at home, nor sly and suspicious at work. Let not your hand be open to receive and clench when it's time to give. Chapter 5. Against presumption. Rely not on your wealth. Say not, I have the power. Rely not on your strength. In the following desires of your heart, say not, who can prevail against me? For the Lord will exact the punishment. Say not, I have sinned yet, what has befallen me? And for the Lord bides his time. Of forgiveness, be not overconfident, adding sin upon sin. Say not, great is his mercy. My many sins he will forgive. For mercy and anger are alike with him. Upon the wicked lights his wrath. Delay not your conversation to the Lord. Put it not off from day to day. For certainly his wrath flames forth, and at time of vengeance you will be destroyed. Lay not upon deceitful wealth, for it will be no help on the day of wrath. Sincerity in speech. Winnow not in every wind, and start off in every direction. Be consistent in your thoughts. Steadfast be your words. Be swift to hear, but slow to answer. If you have the knowledge, answer your neighbor. If not, put your hand over your mouth. Honor and dishonor through talking. A man's tongue can be his downfall. Be not called a detractor. Use your tongue for the calumny, for shame has been created for the thief, and the reproach of his neighbor for the double tongue. Chapter 6. Say nothing harmful, small or great. Be not a foe instead of a friend. A bad name and disgrace will you acquire, that for the evil man with double tongue. Fall not into the grips of desire, lest like fire consume your strength. Your leaves it will eat, your fruits destroy, and you will be left dry. You will be left a dry tree. For consummation's desire destroys his owner, makes him the sport of his enemies. True friendship. A kind mouth multiplies friends, and gracious lips prompt friendly greetings. Let your acquaintance be many, but 1 in 1,000 you're confident when you gain a friend. First test him. Be not too ready to trust him, for one short of the friend is a friend when it suits him, but he will not be with you in time of distress. Another is a friend who becomes an enemy and tells of the quarrel to your shame. Another is a friend, a boon, a companion who will not be with you when sorrow comes. When things go well, he is your other self and lord over your servants. But if you were brought to low, he turns against you and avoids meeting you. Keep away from your enemies. Be on guard with your friends. A faithful friend is a sturdy shelter. He who finds one finds a treasure. A faithful friend is beyond price. No sum can balance his worth. A faithful friend is a life-saving remedy, such as he who fears God finds. For he who fears God behaves accordingly, and his friend will be killed himself. Blessings of wisdom. My son, for your mouth embrace discipline. Thus will you find wisdom with graying hair. As though plowing and sowing, draw close to her. Then await her bountiful crops. For in cultivating her you will labor but little, and soon you will eat of her fruits. How irksome she is to the unruly. The fool cannot abide her. She will be like a burdensome stone to test him. He will not delay in casting her aside. For discipline is like her name, and she is not accessible to many. Listen, my son, and heed my advice. Refuse not my counsel. Put your feet in her feathers, and your neck under her yoke. Stoop your shoulders and carry her, and will not be irked at her bonds. With all your soul draw close to her. With all your strength keep her ways. Search her out, discover her, seek her, and you will find her. Then have her, do not let her go. Thus you afterward find rest in her, and she will become your joy. Her fetters will be your throne of majesty, her bonds your purple cord. You will wear her as your robe of glory. Bear her as your splendid crown. My son, if you wish, you can be taught. You can apply yourself. You will be shrewd. If you are willing to listen, you will learn. If you give heed, you will be wise. Frequent the company of elders. Whoever is wise, stay close to him. Be eager to hear every godly disclosure. Let no wise saying escape you. If you see a man of prudence, seek him out. Let your fear wear away his doorsteps. Reflect on the precepts of the Lord. Let his commandments be your constant meditation. Then he will enlighten your mind, and the wisdom you desire he will grant. Chapter 7. Conduct in public life. Do no evil, and evil will not overtake you. Avoid wickedness, and it will turn aside from you. Sow not in the furrows of injustice, lest you harvest it sevenfold. Seek not from the Lord authority, nor from the king a place of honor. Parade not your justice before the Lord, before the king flaunt not your wisdom. Seek not to become a judge. If you have not strength to root out crime, you will not show favor to the ruler. Seek not to become a judge. If you have not strength to root out crime, or you will show favor to the ruler, and mar your integrity. Be guilty of no evil before the city's populace, nor disgrace yourself before the assembly. Do not plot to repeat a sin. Not even for one you will go unpunished. Say not, he will appreciate my many gifts. The Most High will accept my offerings. Be not impatient in prayers, and neglect not the givings of alms. Laugh not at the embittered man. Be mindful of him who exalts and humbles. Plot not mischief against your brother, nor against your friend and companion. Delight not in telling lie after lie, for it never results in good. Thirst not yourself in the deliberations of princes, and repeat not the words of your prayer. Hate not labor's task, nor forming which was ordained by the Most High. Do not esteem yourself better than your fellows. Remember, his wrath will not delay. More and more humble your pride. What awaits man is worms. Duties of family life, religion, and charity. Barter not a friend for money, nor a dear brother for gold of Ophrith. Dismiss not a sensible wife. A gracious wife is more precious than corals. Mistreat not a servant who faithfully serves, not a laborer who devotes himself to a task. Mistreat not a servant who faithfully serves, nor a laborer who devotes himself to a task. Let not a wise servant be dear to you as your own self. Let a wise servant be dear to you as your own self. Refuse him not his freedom. If you have livestock, look after him. If you are dependable, keep them. If you have sons, chastise them. Bend their necks from childhood. If you have daughters, keep them chaste, and be not indulgent to them. Give your daughters in marriage ends a great task, but give her to a worthy man. If you have a wife, let not her seem odious to you. But where there is ill feeling, trust her not. With your whole heart honor your father. Your mother's birth pangs forget not. Remember of these parents you were born. What can you give them for all they gave you? With all your soul fear God, revere his priests. With all your strength love your creator. Forsake not his ministries. Honor God and respect the priest. Give him the portion as you have been commended. First fruits and contributions do sacrifice in the holy offerings. To the poor man has extended your hand, that your blessings may be complete. Be generous to all the living, and withhold not your kindness from the dead. Avoid not those who weep, but mourn those who mourn. Neglect nor to visit the sick. Forget these things, you will be loved. Whenever you do remember your last days, you will never sin. Let me read that. Neglect not to visit the sick, for things you will be loved. And whatever you do, remember your last days, and you will never sin. Chapter 8. Prudence in dealing with other men. Contend not with influential men, lest you fall into his power. Quarrel not with a rich man, lest he pay out the price for your downfall. For gold has dazzled many, and perverts the characters of princes. Dispute not with a man of railing speech. Heap no wood upon his fire. Do not too familiar with an unruly man, lest he speak ill of your forebears. Shame not a pen sinner. Remember, we are all guilty. Insult no man when he is old, for some of us too will grow old. Rejoice not when a man dies. Remember, we are all to die. Spurn not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint yourself with the proverbs. From then you will acquire the training to serve the presence of princes. Reject not the traditions of old men, when they have learned from their fathers. From it you will obtain knowledge, how to answer in time of need. Kindle not the coats of a sinner, lest you will be consumed in his flaming fire. Let not the imperious man intimidate you. It will set him in an ambush against you. Lend not to one more powerful than yourself. Whenever you lend, count it as a loss. Go not surely beyond your means. Think any pledge of debt you must pay. Contend not at law with the judge, for he will settle it accordingly to his whim. Travel not with a ruthless man. He will weigh you down with calamity, for he will go his own way straight. And through his folly you will perish with him. Provoke no quarrel with a quick-tempered man, nor ride with him through the desert, for bloodshed is nothing to him. When there is no one to help you, he will destroy you. Take no counsel with the fool, for he can keep nothing to himself. Before a stranger do nothing that should be kept secret, for you know not will it endanger. Before a stranger do nothing that should be kept secret, for you know not will it will endanger. Open your heart to no man, and banish not your happiness. Advice concerning women. Be not jealous of the wife of your bosom, lest you teach her to do evil against you. Give no woman power over to trample upon your dignity. Be not intimate with a strange woman, lest you fall into her snares. With a singing girl be not familiar, lest you be caught in her wiles. Entertain no thoughts against a virgin, lest you be enmeshed in the damages for her. Give not yourself to the harlots, lest you surrender your inheritance. Gaze not about the lanes of the city, and wander not through its squares. Avert your eyes from a comely woman. Gaze not upon the beauty of another's wife. Through woman's beauty many perish, for lust it burns like fire. With a married woman dine not, climb not at the table to drink it by her side, lest your heart be drawn to her, and go down in blood to the grave. Choice of friends. Discard not an old friend, for the new one cannot equal him. A new friend is like new wine. When you drink with pleasure, only when it has age, envy not a sinner's frame. For you know not what disaster waits him. Rejoice not a proud man's success. Remember, he will not reach death and punish. Keep far from the man who has power to kill, and you will not be filled with the dread of death. But if you approach him, offend him not, lest he take away your life. Know that you are stepping among snares and walking over a net. As best you can, take your neighbor's measure and associate with the wise. When the learned, be intimate. Let all your conversation be about the law of the Lord. Have just men for your table companions, and the fear of God be glory. Concerning rulers, skilled artisans and esteemed for their deftness. But the ruler of his people is the skilled sage. Fear in the city is the man railing speech, and he who talks rashly is hated. Chapter 10. A wise magistrate leads stability to his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As people judge, so are his ministries. As the head of a city is his inhabitants. A wanton king destroys his people, but a city grows through the wisdom of his princes. Sovereignty over the earth is in the hand of God, who rises up. Sovereignty over the earth is in the hand of God, who rises up on it, the man of the honor of the hour. Let me read that again. Sovereignty over the earth is in the hand of God, who rises up. Sovereignty over the earth is the hand of God, who raises up on it the man of the hour. Sovereignty over every man is in the hand of God, who imparts his majesty to the ruler. The sin of pride. No matter the wrong, do no violence to your neighbor, and do not walk the path of arrogance. Odious to the Lord and to the men is arrogance, and the sin of oppression they both hate. Dominion is transferred from one people to another because of the violence of the arrogance. Why are dust and ashes proud? Even during life, man's body decays. A slight illness, the doctor jests a king's today. Tomorrow he is dead. When a man dies, he inherits corruption, worms, gnats, and maggots. The beginning of man's pride is stubbornness, and withdrawing his heart from his maker, for his pride is the reservoir of sin, a source which runs over with vice. Because of it, God sends unheard of afflictions and brings men to utter ruin. The thrones of arrogant the thrones of arrogant gods overturn and establish the lowly in their stead. The roots of the proud god plucks up to plant the humble in their place. He breaks down their stems to the level of the ground, and digs their roots from the earth. The traces of the proud man sweeps away, and effaces the memory of them from the earth. Insolence is not allotted to a man, nor stubborn anger to one born of a woman. That's interesting. Let's read that over. The traces of a proud man sweeps away and effaces the memory of them from the earth. Insolence is not allowed to a man, nor stubborn anger to one born of a woman. True glory. Whose offspring can be in honor? Those which offspring are in honor of those who fear God. Whose offspring can be in disgrace? Those of men. Which offspring are in disgrace? Those who are transgressed the commandments among brethren. Their leaders is in honor. He who fears God is in honor amongst his people. Be it tenant or wayfarer, alien or pauper, his glory is the fear of the Lord. It is not just to despise a man who is wise but poor, nor proper to honor any sinner. The prince, the ruler, the judge are in honor, but none is greater than he who fears God. When free men serve a prudent slave, the wise man does not complain. Flaunt not your wisdom in managing your affairs, and boast not in your time of need. Better the worker who has plenty of everything, than a boaster who is without bread. My son, with humility, have self-esteem. Prize yourself as you deserve. Who will acquaint him who condemns himself? Who will honor him who discredits himself? The poor man is honored for his wisdom, as the rich man is honored for his wealth. Honor in poverty, how much more so in wealth? Let's read this over. Let's read my son, with humility have self-esteem, prize yourself as you deserve. Who will acquit him who condemns himself? Who will honor him who discredits himself? The poor man is honored for his wisdom, as the rich man is honored for his wealth. Honored in poverty, how much more so in wealth? Dishonored in wealth and poverty, how much more? Yo.
I'm just trying to make a video off me, so you know when I call and stuff.
Word.
I was just trying to make sure you locked me in, so you know calling and stuff.
Yeah, I got you in. I was just thinking about you. I'm literally reading Sirach right now. I'm in the Bible right now.
Okay, well, where you at? Did you make it home?
Yeah, I'm at the crib.
Okay, man. See if you want to, we can meet up or something tomorrow or something.
I mean, I don't get out the house much, so I probably ain't gonna get out.
I mean, you know, if you want me to step over there, I can. I don't go nowhere.
You gotta let me think about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cause you just beat me, you know. But just let me know, man.
Alright.
If you need somebody to talk to, you know what I mean?
Word?
I said this, if you need somebody to talk to, like today.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me know.
Okay.
Alright, bro.
Alright. Take care.
You too, bro. a call.